once you've kind of found out what is necessary to change, what you really have to change in order to stay competitive or whatever, and what opportunities for improvement there are, and opportunities for change, and even the things that are not easily changed, you can then begin to define the vision for transformation. And in that step of define, what I tell people is, a lot of people are familiar with the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People that Stephen Covey put out many years ago. It's the step number 2, or habit number 2, is to begin with the end in mind. And it's really imperative to define the end goal of all digital initiatives, both individually and collectively. And individually means for each particular transformation, and then collectively is all of them combined. So the end goal needs to clearly articulate how the company will look and act once the planned initiatives are completed. And that's really what vision is, right? You have a vision for what something will look like and how it's going to act as an organization once these initiatives are complete. But you don't want to only define the success criteria, which, I mean, it's important to define success criteria, but you really want to have a vision for a business reaping the benefits of a successfully completed set of initiatives. So once you've found those opportunities and those necessities, you ask yourself, what is our business going to look like if we actually execute on these opportunities and take the necessary steps that we need to? So really, a definition should contain the following 3 vision components: an explanation of where each initiative fits in your priorities. So, when you start doing this discovery, you end up with a pretty big list sometimes, and you need to prioritize that list. You can't do it all. So you need to figure out what your priorities are. And then the second thing you need to have in this definition is a project level view of the business benefit anticipated from each initiative, from the overall initiative and from initiative. And then the third thing is a clear definition of what success looks like. And so in our example that I was using, this company says, we got to get a handle on our inventory. Well, really, the overall priorities were, we've got to lower our cost of our inventory. And then they started looking at, what is the business benefit? What does it look like? Well, one thing was they had an entire warehouse just to hold their inventory, not to mention the cost of buying all that inventory, and basically non-performing assets sitting there in this warehouse. And then what does a clear definition look like? They're like, we got to lower our inventory by 50%. So they had $6 million in inventory. They needed to get that down to $3 million of inventory is what it clearly looked like to them. That's the kind of thing that a vision drives. You want to have those 3 components in that vision.